What's up, guys? Good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Tonight, we're going to be talking about dating and relationships in Colombia. I'm going to be answering some questions. I'm going to be sharing my personal experience. We're going to be talking about Colombian family culture, what makes Colombian partners special. What's up, guys? Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. All right, so I'm just going to get right into it. So in Colombia, family is central, right? You're not just dating a person, you're dating a family. All right, Colombian culture values presence, not just words. Time, attention, and consistency matter. Masculine and feminine dynamics are more traditional generally. All right, and respect is always going to be shown through your actions. And people watch what you do, not listen to what you say. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. Where is everybody connecting from? Where are you connecting from? So, I'm going to talk about basically kind of how we began from the beginning. So, I met my wife on Tinder in 2017, and we started dating, and I was going back and forth to Bogota where she was working. And while I was living in northern Nevada at the time, I worked at for the state. I worked as a correctional officer for 2 years. During that time, I was basically just taking every vacation I could to go to Colombia, and yeah, I fell in love. Everything great, and so I immediately made plans to do immigration. So I started doing the whole immigration thing. I did all the paperwork myself without an attorney. And quite frankly, I think it's very easy and possible to do your own immigration paperwork without a legal professional in the United States. In Colombia, that's a different story. What's up, Viajando Mundo 421? Welcome to the live stream. So good to have you guys here. So yeah, essentially, that's what we did. And basically, about 1 year after we started dating, her visa was approved, and she was in the United States, and we were living together. Um, so yeah, after a little while, she got her work authorization, so she started working, and I was working too. And then I transitioned to become a full-time student to get my digital marketing degree. And then that whole thing happened in 2020, and we went through that together, and we made plans to come to Colombia and start building a life after that. And so yeah, once we got here, like from the beginning, her family accepted me as their own. They're super kind and warm. Like I felt the love like immediately. Even though my Spanish at the time was not good at all, like we still were able to make it work. And I never felt uncomfortable at all. Like Pisces are super kind. Like I didn't expect that type of love, that type of real family culture. Like I was shocked at how welcoming or how welcomed I was into the family. So yeah, once we basically we found in 2021 we found some land that we wanted to buy, and then we immediately made plans to sell all of our assets in the United States, our car, our house, and everything we owned, so we can get capital to pay off the land and start building as soon as possible. Like we didn't wait at all. Tried to get it done, and basically from the time we started selling our things until the time we arrived in Colombia was about 6 months. It took us 6 months to get everything done. And we brought our dog with us, so of course we had to get our dog all up to date on shots, international health certificate, the whole nine. There they are now. Anyways, so yeah, guys, what questions do you have? Can be about anything really. I mean, we're talking about dating and relationships, so there's a few things I want to make sure that I cover in tonight's live stream. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So essentially, I want to talk about. Let's see what I posted. I want to make sure I get to all of those. Cultural differences. Yeah, of course, family is super prevalent here. Man, you'd be shocked at how the family cultures, everything's about family. I just love that. Um, I mean, what do foreigners get wrong about Colombia? I mean, maybe they just need to manage their expectations and just be open minded. Accept the culture as different, and check your culture at the door. Like I said last time during the last live, you know, try not to be offended by anything that's different or you don't understand. Just kind of take it all in. Envore, that means a lot to me. I'm glad that my example inspired you. That's kind of what my goal is, guys, is to be your boots on the ground, to answer your questions, to be an asset for you. So if you're making plans to come to Colombia, that you can do so more easily. Where better dating in Colombia, in real life or dating agency? I've never went through a dating agency. I couldn't speak on that. What I would just say is personal advice is just constantly work on improving yourself. Don't be afraid to go out, put yourself out there. Have a solid presentation. Clean shoes. Take care of your fingernails, your toenails. Like dress nicely, smell nicely. Cologne is a huge thing. Make sure you always smell good. Um, yeah, personal hygiene, the basics, and get in the gym, and take care of your body, eat well. Um, I personally used Tinder at the time. That was about 8 years ago, but it worked for me. It was just a tool. A lot of people think that Tinder is just for hooking up, but my experience, I could say otherwise. It's just a tool for meeting people. Absolutely, it works, and I recommend Tinder. You can upgrade your plan and plant yourself in Colombia while you're living in the States or England or Australia or where you're living. And that worked quite well. And it's not even expensive. What, it's like $10 a month. And all of a sudden your location is in Bogota or Medellin or Cartagena or wherever you want to be. And then just put yourself out there and just start chatting. Of course, make sure your Instagram profile is up to date. Show yourself doing cool things. Show some of your personality and your interests. So these women or men think that you can just demonstrate a little bit who you are. Michael says, "Hey Chris, I am moving to Colombia in 2 weeks after meeting my partner here in Australia. My plan is to build a better life there. Any recommendations towards handling her and her family?" That's a great question, brother, and I would love to answer it. So my recommendation, brother, is just um, you know, your wife's mother, your wife's father, they're very important people in your wife's life. So always take care of your suegro, your suegra. Give them jobs if you can, if they need it. Like support them in any way that you can. Um, a recommendation, if so, you're already married. Oh, you met your partner there, so you still need to get married, I'm assuming. So, yes, you can definitely get married in Colombia. I didn't personally get married in Colombia. I got married in my own country and then I apostilled all the paperwork and stuff. But yeah, you certainly can. Um, and make sure you talk to an attorney. That's going to help you a lot, bro. So you make sure you don't fall into an irregular status. Check out the video on my channel. Owen dropped some really good value in that video that'll help you on that part of it. I would say be proactive, brother, if you can. Maybe reach out to him and see what your options are already. Say, hey, this is my plan, and see if you can, educate yourself before you go. Like, what is your plan to get married once you get there? Because you got to hit the ground with your feet running, right? Um, yeah, just enjoy it, bro. I wouldn't stress about it. Where's your wife from exactly? What state is she? A Paisa? Yeah, Medellin is really nice. I mean, if I was going to choose a city, I would probably choose Medellin personally, or actually maybe somewhere near the ocean, Santa Martha. Although I can't say for certain because I haven't been there yet. But from what I've heard and seen, like that's like the vibe what I understand about Santa Martha is like it's like Miami, but like a third of the cost or even less. A lot of people are living there for like 1,500 bucks a month. A good vibe out there, and the ocean, of course. I wouldn't choose Cartagena because the beaches are not the standard that I'm looking for. I look for the white sand beach. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Michael, just enjoy the paisa, bro. Just enjoy. If she's from a small town, like even better, in my opinion. I love small town culture. People are super friendly. Um, and yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much, brother. Just make sure all your ducks are in order, your ducks are in a row, and take care of your business back home. And then, speak with an attorney so you make sure that you don't fall into an irregular status. Because that was one of the things that stressed me out the most when I got here is just I wish I had contacted an attorney before I arrived. That way I could have already had my visa approved, and I could have just it would have been smoother. XVZF115 says, "Hi Chris, I'm Colombian. I'm super impressed with how well you assimilate into Colombian culture and how you have found so much value by living in a small pueblo, breaking the stereotype." Thanks, brother. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about, is showing people what life is really like in these small towns. And I think the life is fantastic personally. Like once the secret's out, like people are going to start flooding to these small towns if they only knew, right? So that's kind of the idea. Like show people what really is happening. I really want to support tourism in my town, bring a lot of people from my country and other countries here to show them the coffee culture, small town culture. One of my favorite experiences so far was riding on horseback through the jungle to a bunch of private, like, beehives. My friend has like 30 different beehives, and we just suited up and went out there and harvested honey, and we had to get there by horse, and we were just eating honey out of this big jar by the what I mean, by the glob. It was amazing. And it was really funny because you have a smoker, right? You got to smoke the bees so they stay calm, but towards the end, like inside the smoker, the charcoal started to go out, so the bees got really pissed, and at the end they were just attacking the shit out of us. Oh man, it was a funny time. But anyways, yeah, always keep your smoker smoking. Otherwise, you can have a bad time. What's up, guys? Welcome. Where's everybody connecting from? I love doing these lives with you guys. Once everybody starts flowing in and we start chatting, like it becomes a lot of fun. Got some little notes on the boards. So what makes Colombian partners special? This is my personal experience. This is how my wife is. She's super loving, super caring. She's cariñosa, right? That's the Pisces. She's super loyal. She's a great mother and great wife. She's always like thinking about special gifts and birthdays, like Dates are super important here, guys. Dates are so important. Don't forget your anniversary. Don't forget your birthday. Don't forget birthdays. Um, Valentine's Day, like you'll score big points with your Colombian partner if you remember dates, special dates, and you show up in special ways for those dates and little gifts here and there, like for no reason, just bring your wife or your girlfriend or your partner flowers or chocolates or whatever. Doesn't matter how much it costs. It's that you thought about them. That's what's important. What's up, GG? Shout out to Los Angeles. Shout out to Bucaramanga. Nice to have you, brother. How's your experience in Bucaramanga? How are you like living there? And Mvu Ray, shout out to Eastern Europe. What part of Eastern Europe, brother? Like Poland or Czech, Bulgaria. Like, let us know. Where are you from, brother? Ukraine. All right. Shout out to Ukraine. I had a lot of friends from Ukraine when I lived in Sacramento. That's where I'm from. Lots of Ukrainian people, Russians too. Shout out to Ukraine. All right. So, what are some of the challenges that you guys have faced with dating so far? When dating Colombians, what are some of the things that you found difficult? Maybe it could be with language. Maybe the culture is a little different. Um, in the beginning, yeah, language was a big one because of course, there's language we use to communicate. So in relationships, communication is so important. So there were some misunderstandings, of course. Yeah. So knowledge in Spanish, you just learn in context, find yourself a podcast in a comprehensible level. You're going to need to be able to understand about 70 to 90% of the language that you're hearing, of the Spanish that you're hearing or reading, to be able to be comprehensible. And that's the key level, guys, because the remaining 30 to 10% that you don't understand, you're going to acquire, right? So that's the ideal level for learning another language. Nice, bro. Agent 059. Love that. Love to see more vets. Shout out to all the veterans out there, my brothers and sisters around the world. So good to have you in Medellin. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, God bless you, man. I appreciate you being part of the community. Shout out to all the vets. That's another. I also make. I'm gonna have a lot of content made for vets, bro. We share similar struggles, so I'm sure we can. There's some content that I've got to make. How I how I get along. How I keep myself balanced out here. All right, right there, for example, is my sunroom. I built a sunroom so I can just go and lay in the sun, bro. It does wonders for your mind, your body. Thank you, brother. God bless you too, and your family in Jesus' name. Hello. Shout out to Agua Chica, Caesar, GG. I don't think so, bro. I think it's good to go to, for example, small towns. Most people are not into any of that. Maybe there's some city girls that are into that, but at the end of the day, people got to make ends meet, and even if they are into that industry, you can still find a quality person to date. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you all for joining us. So yeah, let me talk about some of the things that were challenging. Colombian immigration, absolutely one of the biggest challenges being here. As I mentioned during the last live stream, guys, we couldn't even do any of our paperwork in my town because they just hadn't dealt with foreigners and they didn't want to deal with it. So they just kind of gave me some lip service and then sent me to Medellin. So just expect, if you can't, if they don't want to cooperate, then you've just got to just be prepared to go to the city to get your paperwork done. Aguachica is a small town in the Caesar department in Colombia. Yeah, I see it a lot on license plates. That's the only thing I know about it is cars with a license plate from Agua Chica. Shout out to Agua Chica. Man, we got a lot of traveling to do, guys. So tell me about your town, bro. What is it? What do you enjoy about living in that department? No, Johannes Dariaga asks, is my wife from Medellin? No, my wife is from Cañas Gordas, Antioquia, where we currently live. For a while, she was living in Bogota, and then when we got together, she came to the States, lived with me there for 3 years, and then we moved together to where her small town where she's from. What's up, guys? Where's everybody connecting from? Are you all single? Are you dating somebody? Are you married? Like, are you planning to move to Colombia? Like, let's chat, guys. We are friends here. This is a calm space. Thank you, brother. Yeah, absolutely. I was super shocked at how loving that Paisa women are. I have a story. When I was traveling back with my wife on a plane, I met an attorney, a Colombian attorney, and he told me in Spanish, he said that you are taking a jewel out of my country. And I was like, I thought about that and I had never forgot I was like, wow, bro. He's really just said it. Like, I must be having someone really special. And it turned out he was right. My wife is a jewel. And from what I can tell, Colombian women in general are jewels, and especially Paisa women. I'm here in Agua Chica because of my daughter. Life expenses are very affordable here. Thank you, brother, for sharing that. I absolutely love to hear that. Yeah, that's one of the biggest life hacks, I think, that if you can come and live in Colombia and you're earning in a currency that's favorable exchange rate, and you're able to earn dollars or euros or pounds or francs or whatever that currency is. Like, man, life is really affordable. And it does a lot of good for the local community. It really does. Because if you go and spend, 500,000 pesos, 130 bucks, 140 bucks, whatever, somewhere, that's a big sale for these local businesses. And people are really, it makes a big difference, guys. Yes, absolutely. Paisas are really hardworking people. From Miami, agent says from Miami, speak Spanish, love Latin culture compared to the crazy cheating gold diggers in Miami. These women are goddesses. They're amazing. Like they say, they love family. Absolutely. They love family. They are goddesses. They just, wow. Absolutely, bro. I made a video about, how Colombian women will treat the man like a king, assuming you act like a king and they'll treat you like one. Like, and they anticipate your needs, guys. Like, before you're even hungry, mi cielo, are you hungry? Like, tienes hambre, mi cielo? Like, super cariñosa. And of course, they're about order and they don't leave the house without looking, spectacular. And to me, that is just like, man, coming from the United States where people will just go to Walmart wearing whatever the heck they want, they don't give a shit at all. It's like culturally a big difference. In fact, I'm going to go to the United States next week, and I haven't been home in 4 years. Like, I'm about to be in for my own culture shock. Like, damn, y'all hear me? Y'all know what I'm saying? Colombian women like spicy food. No, and Colombians in general don't really like spicy food. Like, not really. They don't really eat spicy food. Home for me, bro. Sacramento. Well, I'm from Sacramento and Northern California. From both. Um, So yeah, I'll be in Northern California, in Northern Nevada. Um, it's gonna be, probably maybe I'll go snowboarding. My boy and I might go on a road trip somewhere. Hopefully the weather's not totally bad, man, because sometimes those mountains really sucks when the snow is so bad. I've been watching your videos here on YouTube. Where in the US are you from? Yeah, Northern Cal, bro. And Northern Nevada. So like Reno, Nevada, and Sacramento, California. I spent most of my life growing up there. You've been 4 years. Nice, brother. You same here. So you know what it's like. I've had no luck in Colombia. I meet all money grabbers. It was annoying. Nah, bro. You know what? Stay encouraged, bro. Don't give up hope, man. Like I tell you, try the small towns. Come to the small towns. Just the good attitude. You know, it's even helpful if you have some Colombian friends. Just go out and maybe look for some local events. Like in my town, they've got horse events are big festivals around riding horses, artisanal goods, little fairs and stuff. Like just see what's out there, bro. And you never know who you're gonna meet, man. Love the Emerald Coast, beautiful. Check out Nevados, Chilan, sometimes in Chile, incredible powder and aguas tamales also. Nice, bro. Absolutely, man. I can't wait to travel more South America. That's the intention. Lord willing, the channel will grow and we'll be able to finance some longer trips and show you guys more what's out there throughout all of Colombia. I really want to check out the Amazon. I want to go find some anacondas, some big ass snakes. In fact, in part of the Amazon, there's a place my boy was telling me about today where Peru, Brazil, and Colombia meet in one little corner, so you can basically go and exchange for Peruvian money and Brazilian money. You could be in all three countries in like a few minutes. It's kind of like in Eastern Europe there. Slovenia connects with Italy and connects with Croatia, so kind of the same deal. Welcome, guys, everybody. Welcome to the channel. So good to have you guys here. I worked for the Los Angeles Parks Department, retired with 300 a month. God bless California. Now I'm living in Bucaramanga like a king. Man, that makes me so happy to hear that, bro. Enjoy your retirement. So, what's everybody's long term? Like, you want to be a resident here? You want to get your citizenship? Do you want to do like the nomad digital thing? You want to try it out for a little bit? And what kind of content do you guys want to see next? Like, I would love to hear what you guys want me to post. There's certain topics I can't really speak on because I'm like super disconnected from Medellin. I'm not out there. I'm married, so I don't go out there single bars or none of that kind of things. Like I can only talk to you about small town Colombian culture. Um, there's a lot of beautiful women here, a lot of single beautiful women. And they're super humble too, like, and they're hardworking and they would make a great partner, a great wife. But it just depends what you guys are looking for. Everybody's in a certain season. I respect whatever season everybody's in. You might be looking to just be single and play the field. That's fine. Or you might be looking for something more long term. Might be wanting to start a family or have children, like whatever that is. So you find everything here in Colombia, guys. Business ideas in your region, how to leverage United States dollars and pesos. I like your videos on how to find real estate and building. Super helpful. I'm glad you mentioned that, bro, because when I return to Colombia, Lord willing, that we make it safely back, um, I actually have a trip that's booked and I'm going to be demonstrating some lots. A guy is selling like 50 lots or something, and he talked a lot about community and how It's like really good guy, solid guy, and I can't wait to show you guys. It's in a place called San Carlos. So we're going to collaborate on a video project. I'm going to produce one long form content and three short videos. And that's another goal of my channel is to show you guys the real estate opportunities that are available. Because of course people are looking for places to live and build. In hindsight, if I would did it from the beginning, I would have looked further and did more networking and found more land for less money, more rural. I have no problem living in an area that's further from town, even if that means the road is not that good. I would just always have yourself a car that's has clearance. Like that's non-negotiable, guys. You got to have a car with some clearance. It would be awesome if you could rep whoever helped you build that amazing house. Wish I could be your neighbor, bro. Man, I got to make a whole video, a long video about it because, man, it wasn't easy, bro. And there's very few people that I can honestly say I recommend. And that, unfortunately, that's the truth. Um, Thankfully, the guys that are in my boxing club, the one that I posted, that's my team now. Like, I only go for them. I only go to them when I need something built because, they take their time, they do things right. Cheap is not always best. Like you end up paying more in the end. So in hindsight, if I did it from the beginning and I had the money, I would have went to Medellin and I would have just got a contract and built everything in a contract. And I probably even maybe would have hired an attorney to make sure that everything was squared away. But if budget is a concern, go to wherever you want to live and take the time to get to know people, have some beers with them, have some dinner, meet some people, and just kind of take your time, research, get to know people, go see their work, visually verify everything. Don't leave any stone uncovered, as they say. Like, you got to be very sure with who you pick to build your house. Because if you choose wrong, you are going to be out some money. Okay, that's some real ass advice, guys. Write that down. Take your time. Okay, name some best small towns to spend time in to try to meet a serious wife. I'm 35 in great shape, retired, and living in Colombia full time. Nice, bro. You're in a strong position. I would say recommend go to Santa Fe de Antioquia. Basically, I would search all of the small towns in Antioquia first, like find you a paisa or even a costeña. I've had some very good impressions from the women from the coast. They got a calm, relaxed vibe about them too that I really liked. Um, but yeah, small towns in Antioquia, I would start there. And even check out my town, bro. You slide through, send me a message. I'll show you my town. Um, Find me on Facebook. Go ahead and add me, guys. We're friends here. Chris Wolf. Find me Cañas Gordas. You can find me on Facebook right here. Got no problem. Now the N is with like this. The N's got the accent on the top. You'll find me there. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Chris Wolf TV. Send me a direct message. And yeah, come to my town, bro. When I get back from the United States, that'll be a perfect time in March. What's up, Trevor? Nice to see you again, brother. No worries, my friend. Just glad you're here. La Ceja is really nice small town vibe with really nice nature. Thanks, brother, for that. Adding your perspective. Appreciate you, bro. I'm construction in New York, and as a Colombian, know how difficult it is to get reliable work there. Yeah, it can be, kind of tough to find reliable work. In fact, some of my family members have to go to the city just because they can't find constant work in the small towns. In a small town, Viajando Mundo asks, in a small town like yours, can you find an apartment amueblado for a month or so? I think you need to be a few weeks in town to meet those beautiful, humble women. In Medellin is too hard. That's a great point, bro. Absolutely. And even if, you'll find, 600,000 pesos, 800,000 pesos. Like, if you want an apartment in the town, it costs you like 600, maybe 700,000 a month. But if you want more like of a little house with a little small little finca, a little piece of land you outside of town, grow your tomatoes or whatever. I already asked my boy. He knows a lot of people that rent, and he said about 800,000 pesos a month. So both would be fine. Or you can even talk to some of the local hotels. They have plenty of vacancies and work yourself out a deal. Um, 100%. Yeah, great questions, guys. Great comments. Moto Poet Society says that I know there are a ton of opportunities there. I want to invest in real estate, especially in regions like yours, far enough from Medellin, but still growing. Yeah, keep an eye out for that San Carlos video we're going to be posting, guys. Like I said, I already have a book deal with a guy. We're going to be demonstrating a bunch of lots he has for sale in a beautiful place called San Carlos. I'm really excited to show you guys that. Absolutely, guys. Let me know if you're going to be in my town. It'd be super cool to show you guys around. We got a lot of people that, if you want to go on a coffee tour, I've got this video we're working on right now. You guys would be so amazed. Like, we just took I'm from a place called Cañas Gordas, which means fat canes. And that's because when they found the town, there was these big fat sugar canes, and they made cane sugar. So I went to a farm a few days ago, and they have imported sugar cane from the Dominican Republic, super delicious. And he has this machine that you stick the sugar cane in, and it grinds it, and it spits it out. And if you actually see it in my last video I posted, and he added lemon, of course, in it, and it was just super delicious, guys. So those are the kind of authentic experiences you find out here. And a friend of mine, like I mentioned, going horseback riding through the mountains, through the jungle, to go bee harvesting honey. Suit up and go out there, and we'll smoke the bees. We'll take off the top, and we'll remove all of the little trays and take all of the honey with us. Really fun. How far is your town from a big city? The closest city is Medellin, the big city, Medellin, but they're finishing a tunnel, which is going to bring a ton of economic activity to our town. And that's going to be a big opportunity, guys, for everybody in my town. It's going to reduce the amount of time it takes to get uh, to my town. From right now, it takes 2.5 to 3 hours to get to Medellin, but it's going to go down to like an hour 20, something like that. Yeah, bro. Thanks a lot. Next time I'm in Medellin, we definitely link up, bro. Connect with me on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok, any of those platforms that you can send messages. I love to connect with you guys on a more personal level. I love to answer your questions. And yeah, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate you all being in the community. We're going to keep making the content that you guys want to see. We're going to keep answering your questions. We're your boots on the ground so you can make more informed decisions. That reminds me, Trevor Garrett says, that reminds me, I was telling a friend of mine in Pereira about you and the town you live in. She thought the name was so funny. She never heard it before. Plus, she thought it was two words. Yeah, they kind of combined it. Cañas gordas. Stable warm temperature, easy to grow, lots of vegetables. Yeah, it's really good, guys. Of course, out here, I've had some challenges growing some vegetables. Let me see. Super humid. And yeah, I got to tell you guys the botfly story. Man, I got bit by a botfly my first year here. Bit me on the back of my leg. This botfly planted a little egg inside of the back, right between your calf and like the back of your leg and your hamstring, that little crevice that bends. It bit me right there. And then 2 weeks later, it itched so bad. Like, man, I couldn't stop itching it. And then went the worm because it planted an egg of a fly. And once that egg starts to grow into a worm, it starts to move under your skin. It was so disgusting. And eventually, my mother in law, my suegra, says, "Oh, you got a worm inside of your skin." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "All right, so how do we get it out?" I took it to my cousin's house and I was like, "Oh, we got to get this thing out." And the botfly will actually have like a little needle, like a little, it's like a little nostril, like to breathe from the hole. And they ended up like smoking a cigarette and blowing smoke at it, and so it couldn't breathe, and it started moving its little head around, and they took some tweezers and pulled that sucker out. Man, it was nasty. But be careful for the botflies out here in the campo, bro, in the campesino, and well, in the country. That's what else, guys? I'm sorry if I gross y'all out. I'm just sharing some that real life experience. Did you prefer How quickly did the worm grow? Not very quickly. It took 2 weeks about, I recall, like getting from the moment I got bit until the moment it grew enough to where I had to scratch really hard. Yeah, it's called a botfly, guys. Check it out. Check out botfly Colombia on YouTube or like botfly removal South America. You can see where other tourists had came to Colombia and got bit in the same way I got bit. And these are actually the same type of flies that'll bite livestock and plant livestock. I'm sorry, they'll plant their worms on the skin of the livestock. And that's why you see cows with like these ruptures. It's because the bot fly planted it. Anyways, I digress, guys. So do you prefer small town community and vibes or the city vibes and activities in Medellin? Absolutely, I enjoy the small town community and the vibes. Once in a while, I enjoy going to the city, and I got to do my shopping there anytime I need something from my house. And now that we have a car, I don't have to pay a puerta puerta anymore. So if you don't know what a puerta puerta is, it's like a delivery service. Somebody will have like a diesel truck that runs daily. Either they're taking passengers or they're filling their truck with, you know, goods. It could be small, it could be big, and they just charge whatever. Um, but yeah, in the city is where you'll find, the best restaurants. So you got to go once in a while and eat some really nice restaurants. In my town, actually, we have some really good burgers. If you check out my shorts, I've been doing food reviews, so you can see what kind of food is available in small town Colombia, and it's quite good actually, on par with or better than some things you'll find in the city. How is internet access in your town? I don't mean cell phone, but internet connections in homes. Great question. So I'll run a speed test right now and I'll tell you what it says. I would say overall it's unreliable. When I get back, I'm going to be getting Starlink. Last time we did the stream, I think last Saturday, my internet was not good at all. But I complained to the company and I was like, "Yo, y'all gotta get it together, please." So right now I'm coming in at 23 megabytes per second, which is good for the stream. Good enough. 3 hours away. Ah, very similar, bro. Very similar. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Love having you guys here. Speaking of Puerta Puerta, Trevor says, "Have you rode on one the Jeeps that are expanded to carry groups of people?" I've seen that in my town before, bro, but I haven't really. Not really. I haven't even ridden on a Chiva yet. A Chiva is like one of those big classic style old school buses that have paint and everything on there. Um, Do you have a favorite coastal town close to beaches? Yes, I do. In fact, so far, I stayed in this one coastal town. I forgot the name, but I'm looking at the map. One moment. Okay, on my way to Cartagena, I stopped in a town called Santiago de Tolu. That so far is my favorite coastal town. And there was a place that I stayed at called the. Hold on. I want to make sure I give y'all guys the right hotel. Y'all are gonna love it, guys. We absolutely love this hotel. It's owned by a Venezuelan family, and the service is excellent. Guys, check it out. If y'all want to look, Tolu Hotel Boutique. They got a nice pool, like super good attention. Yeah, we enjoyed that a lot. And then we took a boat. We went to some islands called Isla Palma. So from Isla Palma, they run a shuttle service, boats. We took a lancha, which is like a small boat, to Hotel Isla Palma. This is where we went, guys. You all got to check it out on Google. I think you'll really enjoy it. Super good vibes. They have flamingos on the little island. There's another one that's supposed to be even better. I forgot the damn name of it, but it's close. So look through that area, guys. My wife is Colombian. I would like to have a home near the beach. Oh, bro. Um, check out a place called Baru. Check out Baru. I'm gonna share with you guys a place that I visited. They didn't even charge us to go in. It was off season and super nice people. Um, and anyways, there's lots for sale in Baru. So the town in Baru is like pretty humble, not dangerous by any means, but humble. But there's lots all throughout the area. And that's if I was going to buy some land right now, I would build in Baru, get me a little plot of land, have a dock, like get me a boat, and just go fishing every day, guys. Everyone says Santa Marta and Tirona is amazing. Yeah, bro, I've heard good things about that. In fact, I think that's probably one of the best beaches in Santa Marta is kind of Tirona. It's like a national reservation. I was just speaking of Santiago de Tolu with my friend in Barranquilla. She says the Covenas is nicer than Tolu. That east looks very nice. The Covena is nice. I'm going to check that out. Tolu is not a place to really go in the beach or nothing. It was kind of just a spot where we were to take a boat because when I booked the hotel in Isla Palma, they recommended I can either take a boat from Cartagena or Santiago de Tolu. Since Santiago de Tolu is closer, of course, that's where I went. I visited Santa Fe de Antioquia and it's hot and humid. Your town is cooler than Santa Fe? Yes, absolutely. For example, right now it's raining and it is 16 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't get much colder than 60. I think the coldest I've ever felt was 14 degrees Celsius, which is like somewhere in the 50s. Welcome, guys, to the live stream. Love having you guys here. Just south of Tolu, very close to Tolu. Thank you, bro. I'm going to check it out. Yeah, very similar weather to Medellin. There's some farmland that's a little closer called Nearby Neighborhood, same town. It's called Insor, and I'm probably look at some land there. Insor. It's a little colder. In fact, I like it a little bit colder, because you can have like campfire type of vibe sometime. You can cold enough for a campfire. I go nieve, which is summer every day, hot and humid. Yeah, Santa Fe de Antioquia is always hot. Personally, it's a little too hot for my liking. That's why there's tons of, pools there. A lot of people go there. You know, a lot of Airbnbs, a lot of activity like that, and most of them, or a lot of them, have pools. Santa Marta is good. There are some really nice beaches to hike to east of Santa Marta. Southeast of Santa Marta are some nice cascadas to hike us to as well. So cascadas are waterfalls, guys. Nice. I love waterfalls. Let's see. Has anybody been to Armenia? Armenia Quindío. Has anybody been there? I've been there before, twice actually. Really liked it. Armenia Quindío, coffee country. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Love having you guys here. If you're new here, let us know where you're from. Introduce yourself, guys. We're a community. We're all just sharing our experiences. Here to help. There's other people that live here in Colombia. Coffee was so good. I even liked it black. That's the idea, guys. You can get some very special coffees, specialty coffee, 80 points or above. If you start getting into the 90s territory, you got some really special coffee, a lot of nice flavors. What places in Colombia where more dry weather and less rain? Good question. There is actually even a desert here. Let's see if we can find out where that is. The driest regions of Colombia is La Guajira. Cities like Riohacha, Uribia, Cabo, de la Vela. They're hot, low rainfall, desert or semi-desert, and windy. That sounds like Nevada. Northern Cesar, cities like Valledupar. Hot, long, dry seasons, much less rain than coffee regions. Dry and livable, Santander. Cities Bucaramanga, Barichara, San Gil. One of the driest Andean regions, sunny, lower humidity, and great air quality. Boyaca, cities like Tunja y Villa de Leyva. Cooler, very low rainfall, dry winds, clear skies. Then we have Tolima in the upper valley, cities like Ibague, Espinal. And then we have moderate rain down in Cundinamarca. Uh, there you go, brother. Great question, Trevor. So the Specialty Coffee Association, now these are like people that go to like these super intense courses where they do like cupping. So they're qualified to rank coffee. 80 points on a scale from, I guess, 0 to 100. Once coffee gets to the 80-point level, it's specialized, it's qualified as specialty coffee. So it's got certain flavors. There's a whole like coffee wheel with all these different notes, chocolate, fruit, like all kinds of aromas and tastes. So they kind of certify coffee beans. In order to be called specialty coffee, you have to have 80 points. Boyaca is an amazing state. Villa de Leyva, Monguia, Rakita, so many amazing, cool towns. Thank you, brother. You have Mercado Libre where you live, and how do you do your online shopping? Great question. I do use Mercado Libre a lot. I buy, first I always check between Amazon and Mercado Libre to see, of course, ultimately what's cheaper. Now, I'm glad you asked that question because I got to talk about buying things from websites in the United States and then dealing with the Colombian agency that taxes those products. And that's a one time I waited like 6 months, guys. I bought a T-shirt from zerofoxtrot.com, one of my favorite veteran T-shirts. They have super cool shirts, and basically the shirt got lost in the sauce for 6 months. Like the company refunded me, which was cool, but eventually when it did arrive, I had to pay like three. No, I think I paid like $5, like 20,000 pesos at the time for the taxes. The website is called 472. This is the Colombian website that you deal with when you need to pay taxes on any website that's not Amazon or Mercado Libre, right? So let's just say you went to zerofoxtrot.com, you live in Colombia, you put your international address. They'll send it to Colombia, but eventually it goes to these people at 4-72.com. And that's a Colombian agency that applies taxes to your order. And until you pay the taxes, they won't release it to be delivered. And you can only pay the taxes during business hours. So if it's not during business hours, you cannot go online and pay it. It'll just be inoperational. So that's a key because I was getting frustrated. I was like, man, I'm trying to pay these damn tax, but I can't because the website doesn't work outside of business hours to pay the taxes. Write that down, guys. Mercado Libre, yeah, you can get some really good. Um, so how do I buy things? I use credit cards to buy things because I try to like get the dollar amount in points to save money as well. And I also make sure that my credit card has a good exchange rate, a favorable fair market one. It's really important, guys. Make sure you look at the details because you're going to get hosed. Um, of course, if you can just buy straight up with Colombian pesos, that's fine too. But sometimes you get a better deal using pesos and then then using your American credit card and then getting the rewards and paying it off. Sometimes it works favorably. Why doesn't the online merchant collect the tax like in the US? So Amazon is a giant corporation and they've worked something out with Colombia to where if you spend $35 or more on your order, you get free shipping. Now, Colombia does collect taxes, import fees on a certain amount. So what I recommend is don't go over a certain amount on your order um, in order to not trigger the import tax. Buy things in several orders at different times, but some things are taxed no matter what. Okay, some things are taxed no matter what. For example, I bought this to make content, DJI camera, and they charge tax on that. It didn't matter if the price, it was because of what it is. Camera, equipment, certain things are always going to have taxes that you pay right away. But as long as your order is not above a certain amount, there's no tax to be paid, and you also get free shipping in Colombia. What else, guys? Speaking of credit card, the World Elite's credit cards do not assess international exchange fees, and to my knowledge, it is best to pay in Colombian pesos and let the C credit card do the exchange. Thank you for that comment, brother. Dollar saved is a dollar earned. So let's talk about it. So many World Elite MasterCard do not charge foreign transaction fees. I use USAA and I've got a credit card from USAA. and they've been good to me. But when I use Citibank credit card, they do charge me a fee. So I always stick with USA's credit card. So always choose Colombian peso, as you said, and let your credit card network do the conversion. Thank you, Trevor. Solid advice, brother. What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. Love having you guys here. And like I said, guys, if you guys are ever in the area, let me know. Reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me on Instagram, connect, send me a message. If I'm in my town, I would absolutely love to show you around, especially during a time of a festival. You know, we can go meet some of the locals, take you to some of the local businesses, some of my favorites, and introduce you to some people. We can ride horses, we can go harvest honey, we can go to some of the local swimming places. So far, my favorite local swimming place is in a place called Mutata. Has anybody been to Mutata? Which is about like an hour, hour and a half away. When is the festival? Great question, brother. So they have festivals during different times of the year. But the Office of Tourism, Cañas Gordas, Facebook. Follow them on Instagram, guys. They post all of the events. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you when the next festival is, but I definitely should know that information. So thank you. How popular is Bank Colombia on in the towns? I'd say it's the most popular. Um, we have a corresponsal, so you can go to any business where you see Bank Colombia corresponsal, and you can, hey, can puedes retirar plata? Can I withdraw some money? And they'll tell you sometimes, of course, maybe up to 3 million pesos or 4 million if they have it. Sometimes they'll limit you to like 200,000 or 500, just depends on how much cash they have on hand. Western Union is a great option too. Yeah, bro, I used Western Union a couple times. Um, let's see. I mean, it just depends on what your banking situation is, also what your visa status is, your residency, if you've got your migrant visa, if you're able to have a Colombian bank. When I didn't have a Colombian bank, my favorite ATM to withdraw money from was, I think it was called SVBA in Colombia. Hold on. I want to make sure I give you all the right information because I found that their exchange rate was the most favorable when I didn't have BBVA Colombia. Okay, I liked this one a lot. Shopping in your town, do you have Exito D1? We do have D1, which we got about 2 years ago. Before that, the only D1, the closest one was in Frontino. Great, brother. I wish you so much luck with getting your Cedula Extranjeria now. As you know, it's good to have patience when you're dealing with that office in Medellin. Um, yeah, and once you get it, you're gonna feel so much better, bro. Man, once you have that Cedula Extranjeria and your visa squared away, you get your bank account. Yeah, you said you like waterfalls. There's one I really like to go to east of Medellin, northwest of Bogota. The pueblo is Florian. The waterfall is near Florian and called Mirador Ventanas de Tisco, Tizquizoque. I'm going to check it out right now on Google, brother. Thank you. Let's go. Oh, that looks beautiful, man. Nice. Check it out, guys. Check it out on Google Maps. Shout out to Trevor. It's better than in the US. They're nice. They've helped me at the Medellin migration office. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad. I've had a couple experiences where the guys at the front desk were like rude and impatient for like, and I had to remind him. I was like, bro, you're a public servant, man. Like, we pay, like, we pay for your salary. Like, you're in a customer service role. Like, be kind to the people that give you a job. Like, I'm kind of a direct person, and I kind of tell people what I think sometimes, most of the time. Agent says you have to accept that this is a different country and culture. Yeah, bro, absolutely. You do need to. And at the same time, though, bro, like I always think that serving the public is a privilege, and it is different, of course. Absolutely. It's how you say things to people, how you deliver it. Like, you can smile and just tell somebody like, discúlpame, pero eso es como servicio y como un poco maluco, como eres un servidor público y tienes que ser amable en tu posición con los extranjerías. Like, por favor, más amable. Like, you can be kind, right? Even if we're in another country, like, you can tactfully tell somebody to stop being a dick, right? Once you have a cedula, it seems advantageous to have a Necky account, their digital wallet. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, you know what I found, is smile and kind of treat them like your buddy, right? And also, like, if you tip somebody, it goes a long way, you know? Public servant, like, hey, you did a good job. Like, here's 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to recognize you for your hard work. Here's a tip. And Colombians appreciate that, guys. All right. My experience is the people are very friendly and very patient with my broken Spanish. No, that's great, bro. Absolutely. They can see that you're trying. They can see that you're trying, and ultimately the effort to integrate into another country it means a lot. It goes a long way. Exactly. Tipping is not a cultural thing here. And the more time I spend in Colombia, the less I'm inclined to tip. Like, when I first got here, I was like tipping big, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?" Like, and the more I spend time here, it's just I still tip, but it's not in the same way, right? Always try; they'll help you, and that's how you learn. Absolutely. Day to day, just through the necessities of life, you're definitely going to continue to learn, Trevor. And my Spanish is still not where it needs to be. But you know what's been really helpful is I teach English live on TikTok. And the Colombian people that come to my classes, they're super kind and helpful. And we actually exchange, like, I'll ask them a question in in Spanish, and they'll respond using their English, and I'll take notes. Okay, these are the errors that they're making. And then they'll ask me a question in English, and I'll respond in Spanish. So that way we're basically identifying all the errors in each other's languages, and it's been super effective. I recommend it, guys. If you just put yourself out there, even, anybody can really start teaching English. You're just a guide, you're helping them, and you're going to meet all kinds of people. You can just start with one topic a day, use ChatGPT, say, hey, I've never taught English before in my life. Like, help me create a 30-minute class. I'm going to go live on TikTok. And if you're here in Colombia, Your students are most likely going to be Colombian, or they're going to be from Argentina or Chile or Costa Rica, because that's how TikTok works out here in South America. Like, you're going to be connecting with local people. A Mikhaili asks, are there homes or apartments for rent in Cañas Gordas? Yes, absolutely, brother. There are apartments for rent in town, and there are also homes in the campo. In the it depends what you're looking for, but reach out to me on Instagram or on Facebook, guys. Please, I want to help you, and I'll personally ask people, hey, what's available? Can you send me pictures? And I'll upload the videos or the pictures in the information into a Google Drive, and I'll share it with you to show you what's available. I already did that for a couple people. Check me out, guys, on Facebook, Chris Wolf, and you'll find me in Cañas Gordas. You can find me like that on Facebook, and you can find me here on Instagram. Reach out to me. Send me a message, guys. What advice, Yeezy Breezy asks, what advice would you give your younger self when you first arrived in Colombia? Great question. So, first, don't be in a hurry to find a partner. Okay. What you should be focusing on, if you want to build a life in Colombia, um, I would say make sure your finances are in order. Make sure you got a business or some cash flow. Like, build up your life and your foundation first, because I think a partner is going to distract you from the stability and the foundation that you need to thrive here. Like, get you a bag first, and then go find you a partner and take your time. Like, there's so many wonderful, beautiful, loving women to be found here. Okay. Let them qualify themselves to you first. Make sure you're a good fit. Don't fall in love quickly. Like, have the discipline and the emotional intelligence to don't move so quickly and make a quick choice. All right. That would be my advice to my younger self. And speak with an attorney, tell them what your options are, an immigration attorney. This is what my plans are. What would you recommend? And, come here first, spend some time here. You can spend up to 6 months in Colombia as a visitor. The first 3 months are free. You ain't got to pay nothing. The second 3 months, you just go online, pay a little fee, and boom, you can extend. Make sure you do it with time, though. So maybe like 4 weeks into your first 3 months, you already start to fill out the paperwork and have it ready. And that way your 6 months are continuous, so you never fall into irregular status. And just go and see what's out there. Travel the whole country if you can. Find what you really like. There's so much to see in Colombia. What's up, you guys? Welcome. Love having you guys here. Along with that of dating, does this sound right? It can be easy to fall for the endearing term of amour. I would say it is, Trevor. It is easy to fall in love here because when you experience for the first time a Paisa woman, you are, I would say it's easy to become infatuated. It's easy because you've never been treated like that before. I'd say a woman goes above and beyond. A Colombian Paisa woman goes above and beyond and will just wow you in all kinds of different ways. Um, Agent says, be like the sailor in a strip club. Let all the girls come to you before you give a tip. Play the field safely with a good mind, being aware that because you're an educated gringo, you can date. Yeah, bro, it's good to have options. It's good to have confidence. Um, it's good to be humble. It's good to demonstrate high value and to let them qualify themselves to you. And everything, I like this a lot. Con calma, con paciencia. I like saying that a lot, but it's true. If you can apply calm and patience to every situation in your life, I think that'll do you a lot of good. Exactly. That's it, brother. It's all about making informed decisions, guys. And everything you do here in Colombia with calma, with patience, when you where you choose to live, which property you choose to buy, who you choose to build your house, where you choose to buy your materials, who you choose to be your partner, who you choose to have children with, like con calma, con paciencia. Absolutely, guys. Love having you guys here. I'm going to continue doing the live stream for another 42 minutes. We're going to wrap it up at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love having you guys here. We're chatting. If you have any questions, Viajando Mundo, you're welcome, brother. I'm so happy you found the information interesting. Next time you're in Colombia, please, yeah, absolutely stop by, bro. And like I said, connect with me on Instagram and Facebook, guys. Reach out to me, send me a message. That's good, bro. Yeah, red flags. I'm glad that you were able to identify those red flags before it was too late. I feel you, brother. What's good, guys? Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Please let me know, guys, in the chat what kind of content you guys want to see next. Like, I'm going to be going into a full length video with pictures of my life, starting when I met my wife, how we met, um, the whole timeline until we are now, so you guys can kind of see a complete picture. Like I have an idea for video, like 7 things I learned being married to a Colombian woman for 7 years. I want to share some knowledge with you guys. What I learned, I've been married, of course, 7 years. So, because foreigners always stand out, people know who you are. So, like Chris said, maintain your reputation, you'll be fine. Thank you, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, maintain your reputation. Show people that you want to, become part of the community. You want to help them. Um, yeah, show you a good face. Make your family proud of how you're representing your family and your country in a different country. What would you say are the things that impress you the most with a Paisa woman? Absolutely. I already have that right here. So, with their loyalty, how you can trust them, like they don't play games, right? If they're in a relationship, if they choose to be with somebody, like they're in it, they're committed. You don't have to worry about them, sleeping around on you. They're great mothers and great wives. Family's big here. So if you're looking to start a family with a Paisa woman, absolutely would recommend it. They're super special and caring. I'll share a story. When my wife and I were first dating, my 28th birthday, man, she totally surprised me. The Airbnb I got, she arrived early, checked in, and she had all kinds of like flowers on the bed and like in a heart shape. She had balloons everywhere. Like, I was shocked. I was like, man, how special is that? And how they're super clean, right? Like, like I mentioned in the last stream, they're your shoes big here in this country. So they'll take apart your entire shoe. They'll take out this insert. They'll take off the laces. They'll go in with a toothbrush every part of the shoe, bro. They can take a shoe that's old and dusty and they'll make it look almost new. And that's super impressive. They take really good care. Whatever thing that they own, they're going to take good care of it. They're going to store it well. They're going to keep it clean. They're not going to waste any money. They're going to take care of their belongings. And they're humble. They're humble too. So that's what impressed me the most about Colombian women, Colombian partners. Wanting to see longer videos traveling through small pueblos and show what normal everyday life is in the small towns. Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm going to start doing interviews too, because there's a lot of interesting people in my town that I want to have them demonstrate and talk about. Um, so we kind of did that during these recent coffee tours. Excuse me. So they talk about their process and how they make coffee, how they produce it. In this one farm, super special. They have so many different medicinal plants. They have acetaminophen, right? Like the plant that they use, I guess, to make Tylenol or whatever. What else? Just all kinds of herbal medicine, even like turmeric. They grew that and sugar cane. They have like more than 200 different species of plants growing that they use on their farm, and that really just impressed me. Yeah, agent, that's a great idea, bro. In fact, I wanted to put together some type of special tour group for veterans to where ones that haven't been to Colombia, pick them up from the airport. Everything's all inclusive, including like for one set price, they can be picked up at the airport, taken to the small town, have a place to stay, food, meals, everything included. We can ask them what they want to do. Oh, you want to ride horseback? You want to go through the jungle and harvest honey? Do you want to go to the coast? Do you want to go to the ocean? Like maybe like a questionnaire where they kind of fill out some of the things I've been thinking about. But the idea, bro, is to support veterans, support their mental health, support their peace of mind, show them like, hey, this is what's out there. And my wife has been absolutely very supportive of me as a veteran. And I think that a lot of veterans too can find a Paisa woman to be very supportive as well of veterans and their needs, right? You feel me, bro. Dude, I want to do tours here too. My Spanish is on point. Let's do this. Hey, reach out to me, bro, on Instagram and Facebook. Let's chat, man. That sounds absolutely fantastic. We can do a lot of good for veterans. I would love to do that. You can find a panela factory making the old school way. Oh, absolutely, Andrew. In fact, a few years ago, I had a video. I got to do it again. They make panela and all over my town. It's one of the biggest things they make. So thank you. I'm going to keep a note of that. Man, that's so good to hear, bro. Love meeting veterans. What's up, guys? Where's everybody connecting from? If you are new to the live stream, let us know where you're from. As you guys, if you don't know me by now, my name is Chris. I'm from California and Northern Nevada, both places. Been living in Colombia for 4 years. At the end of this year, Lord willing, I'll become a citizen. Next week, I'm traveling to the United States for the first time in 4 years. Haven't been home ever since I left. Out here, I do digital marketing. I teach English. It's a couple ways I earn money here. And lately, I've been doing food reviews, basically for just the price of the food. I want to support the local businesses. What else, guys? And yeah, we're going to be start doing showing lots, different properties for sale. I know a lot of you guys are interested in finding properties, and I know a lot of people are interested in selling properties. So if that interests you, please contact me on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok. Send me a message, introduce yourself, and tell me what your goals are. and what kind of land you're looking for as far as like how many acres, um, any specific things you want, maybe a good view near the town, near hospitals, like whatever your specific needs are. And I'll be happy to upload some videos and photos to a Google Drive for you and help you find something. Interview with the locals, especially the farm owners and businesses, would be good, and understanding how to contribute to the community, the possibilities would be cool. Absolutely. In fact, I have my assistant working on some videos right now. The last 2 days, I've been in coffee farms and sharing experiences. Guys, this woman, this family, they make everything out of coffee, bro. They had coffee lemonade. Super interesting. Coffee cookies, coffee cake, coffee lollipops, coffee soap, like everything from their coffee farm. They turn into a product. I respect the hustle. Super cool. Do you have contacts in other departments for real estate, or is it only Antioquia? Looking for property, but probably not in your area. Great question, Andrew. Yes, I do have a contact, and I already made a deal with a guy who we're going to be. Let me show you guys. So the place is called San Carlos, and the idea is that I'm going to travel there, and I'm going to be making videos about his properties for sale. In fact, guys, let me see if I can open up my phone and share with you guys some videos and pictures, and so you guys can see on the town. Andrew, definitely reach out to me, bro, because I can send you the Google Drive with all the videos and pictures of what I have right now. So San Carlos is located about, oh, nice. It's near Guadalupe. Ooh, it looks like about, it looks about 2 hours and 47 minutes east of Medellin, but it's much closer to Guadalupe, and Guadalupe is super beautiful. So you have a lot of, oh man, I can't wait to do that video. Let me show you guys. Let's see. So like I said, it's near Guadalupe. So my friend and my client sent me that picture. And here's some of the pictures and videos he sent me. Kind of some rough raw videos. Some of the lots for sale near the river. Some of the what it looks like out there. Look at this lot. Super nice. So stay tuned, guys. In mid-March, I'm going to be traveling there, and then I'm going to probably have the video published like the third week of March. Excellent. Right on. Let's see. I'm also going to be making some posts. I want to expand helping locals sell their properties to people like us, foreigners that want to live in Colombia. So stay tuned, guys. Um, what else, guys? Do you have any other questions? I know we began the topic of dating and relationships, but we always start to get into other topics as well. And I welcome all kinds of questions from you guys. I want to make the most of our time together. Appreciate y'all guys tuning in. Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be making longer videos too, guys. I always try to have the video be comprehensive yet concise. My editing style. I respect your guys' time. I want to put a lot in a small space, but I see a lot of you guys want longer videos, so maybe I'll just shoot from the hip and just start chatting, do more interviews and things. Maybe I'll even start a podcast. In fact, this room here eventually is going to turn into a more comfortable, complete space with soundproof on the walls and lighting, and it's going to look cool. And then I'm going to start having maybe some guests coming, doing some podcasts, some live interviews. My accountant is on my list of people I'm going to be doing interviews with, because I want to make sure you guys have all these. Hey, bro, agent, nice to see you, bro. Reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram so we can get in touch about that veteran project. I would love to talk about that. Of a YouTube account of another YouTuber you might be interested in getting acquainted. Thank you so much. Absolutely, I'm always interested in networking and expanding possibilities. I saw a post about the boxing being postponed. There an issue with permitting or just taking longer? Great question, Andrew. So I did a meeting with the sport director of the town, and he basically sent me an online website where I got to do a course. So on February 2nd is when I can start taking the courses, and I'm going to try to knock that out um, as efficiently as I can. And I have one of my administrators in the club going to be helping me with the paperwork, because I've got to have like club rules, and I've got to have like a certain amount of people in the club charter. Like it's a little a bit of a process, but we got to make it happen, bro. Ain't nothing going to stop us from starting the boxing club. And the idea is to host live boxing. I'm going to be representing the United States. If you want to box and you're in Medellin or anywhere in the country, I welcome you to come to the club. Um, this is the club office. Downstairs is the club gym. Outside is the club ring. And we're going to post the American flag on the wall. We're going to post the Colombian flag on the wall. So each fighter represents their country. If they're from Venezuela, de una, we're going to put the Venezuelan flag on the wall. And the idea is it's going to be exhibition style, but like serious Olympic, like, we're going to have a referee, and we're going to take it seriously like a sport. And recently we actually have now a trainer who has 18 years of experience. He's going to be training boxing. He's the principal, the main boxing trainer, and I'm going to be training bodybuilding. So my role is to strengthen the fighters and give them more power and more speed in a way that's functional from the bodybuilding side. And he's going to be training technique and all that. So I hope you guys enjoy boxing content. It's something I've always been passionate about, is boxing. Mike Tyson's my favorite fighter. I love his style. He's not a tall guy, but he's a heavy guy and he punches super hard. And that's what I like. And that's what I strive to be like too. I want to box like Mike. In past, do boxing, now run, sprint, and gym. Yes, bro, absolutely. We just built these placowejas in our road. So we have an inclined road. It's like that. So we're gonna start sprinting up the hill. Like my cardio is not good, so I gotta up my cardio. Holyfield, yeah, Holyfield's a great fighter. Absolutely. Some Paisa slang, absolutely. I would love to teach y'all. So on the day to day, this is very Paisa. Que más pues? Like that. Que más pues? Like people start to tell me, oh, you got the Paisa accent. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Que más pues? Bien okay. Bien okay. Appreciate your time and you sharing info. What do Paisa women expect from men that may differ from us women? So you mentioned strength training, familiar with Marinovich methods. What do Paisa women expect from men that may differ? Great question. So Paisa women expect from men to take care of business, have a good presentation. You know, they feel pride in their man, so they want their man to be represent himself well, smell good, dress nice, have clean shoes, and definitely like that's foundational. Write that down, guys. Like I said, the roles are kind of traditional here. Masculine men, feminine women, you know, a man is a provider, a woman is in a support role. That's what I see typically. Women, they cook. The women here, they take care of the house. They take excellent care of the children. Very family oriented culture. I really love it. What else? I'm going to write that down. Marinovich methods. I'm not familiar, but I'm going to familiarize myself. The philosophy of Marv Marinovich, known as a strength and conditioning coach, especially American football. Okay, thank you so much. He was famous for training NFL players, high performance athletes, and combat and contact sports athletes. He focused on functional movement, core strength, balance and coordination, explosiveness, injury prevention, and training the body as a unit. I thank you so much. That's super valuable to my team because that's one of the ways that I've been training with my guys is explosive movements. Like when you're doing your push-ups, you explode off the ground. When you're bench pressing, you explode. Like so we can exert more power. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. What's up, guys? How's everybody's weekend going? Hope everybody's having a fabulous weekend. You're recharging your batteries, and that on Monday you have a great start to your week. Where are you from, Mecca? Mecca, Cali. What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. We're going to wrap this thing up in 20 minutes, guys. So now's the time to ask anything. Okay. New York. Do you have plans to move to Colombia soon? Or I'm looking forward to thawing out. We survived the ice storm from last weekend and just have another cold spell this weekend here in Texas. Bro, take care out there, Trevor. Bro, like, you remember what happened? I think, what city was it? Dallas, like 3 years ago? That, like, nasty ice that just hit the freeway out of nowhere, bro. Be careful out there, bro. I hope you don't have to commute in the morning during the time when that could happen, bro. God bless you and protect you, my friend. Within the year, brother, looking at Costa Rica too. Nice one. Absolutely. I don't think you can go wrong. In fact, you probably know there's an influence out there. He talks a lot about nutrition and raw diets and stuff. I think his name is something Palomino or something. He lives in Costa Rica. He built himself a nice house out there. It was estimated 200 mil people were affected by the storm last weekend. Damn, that's a lot of people. Also in NYC, getting tired of the snow and cold. Shoot, I'm going to the States next week, guys. I'm going to be in Northern California and Northern Nevada. If you guys ever been to the Lake Tahoe region, you all know how it can be going through the overpass. Yeah, we're probably going to be dealing with that kind of weather too, usually. Uh-huh. What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. See if I can show you guys some more pictures that I haven't posted yet. I've got a lot of videos and pictures just from the last 4 years living here. And I didn't start a channel for a long time. I think that it's better that I started when I started because I feel more qualified to make the content that I'm making now. Now that I have some experience, granted I could have, but I feel like I'd started at the right time because I want to be a knowledgeable person and share with you guys with enough experience. So let me see what I can show y'all. So what's everybody's goals for this year, guys? What's everybody's goals? Nice. Absolutely, bro. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to all the vets out there. Would love to help you find the lot of your dreams, so a blank space that you can build, or even find you a blank space, basically with a little humble house. Like the price is right, why not? You can always build slowly. Like I said, in hindsight, I would have built a smaller house and bought more land. I think that was the better choice. Better choice, more rural area, cheaper land, more land, and just plant a bunch of trees like aguacate, mandarin, oranges, like any type of tree that will grow in this climate, you name it. Like that would be the dream. That would have been the move, guys. Because man, when you got those trees, of course it takes years for them to grow, but you get them in the ground and you nurture them things, and then before you know it, you've got yourself a food forest. And just collaborate with your neighbors, build yourself a nice compost pile, hoard a bunch of different seeds of all kinds, keep them in the fridge, you know, watermelons and tomatoes, potatoes, build you a nice gate. Are there batana plants there? I'm not familiar with that, bro. Let's have a look. What are batana plants? Batana oil comes from the American oil palm. Palms. Okay. Yeah, yeah. In fact, in the north, I see a lot of palm trees, and I think they harvest palm oil from them. Not where I live, no. You gotta go more northeast, north from where I live, going towards the coast. You'll find like palms. You'll find tons of bananas and plantains. Just as far as the eye can see, plantains and bananas. Yeah, bro. You're welcome, my friend. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for participating, for asking questions. Let's keep it going, guys. What other questions that you have? Like I pointed out in that video, it's super easy to buy land here. It's super the process. Go to the notary, in 3 minutes I explained basically the process. Bring your passport. You don't need to be a citizen. You don't need to have any type of residency, any type of visa. You can come here on a 3-month visitor visa and just tour different land and with your passport, go and sign you a compraventa, get you some land. Let's see. I'm over here looking at the map. I'm going to be going to Santa Marta, I think, at the end of March after I go finish going to San Carlos. So be looking out for Santa Marta. I got a buddy who lives out there. I connected with him on Instagram. He's got a nice apartment on the beach, and our plan is to make content together, which is perfect timing because I got another buddy. Check out, guys. I want you guys to check out Matt Shu on YouTube. Shout out to Matt Shu. Interesting story about him, guys. He's a super well-known travel vlogger, but I met him when he was in Colombia back in 2022, before he had blown up on YouTube. And I had the privilege to have lunch with him. We had a good time. We ate, we chatted, talked a little bit about crypto and investing, and then he went on his way. But it was so cool to see him develop and grow into his uh, into the travel authority that he has now. Guys, check him out. Now, the cool thing about it is he's going to be coming to my town, Lord willing, in March, and we're going to make some videos together. And I'm hoping to talk to my other buddy in Santa Marta about showing us around Santa Marta, and really making something special, guys, for you. On your recent video, devouring a ton of food at the Asados restaurant, what was the approximate cost? Yeah, the actual cost in pesos came out to be 70 United States dollars. Exchange rate changed a little bit, around 250 to 260,000 pesos, something like that. We just told them, hey, give us what you want to show the community the best food that you have, and they just brought us a bunch of food. I really wanted to finish it, guys. I was thinking, man, if I finish this, it's going to be a really cool video. But no, I couldn't. But I failed to mention also to cook the meat medium rare. I like my meat cooked medium rare. How do you guys like your meat cooked? I don't like a well done burger, guys. It starts to taste like leather. Mentiras, but you get what I'm saying. It's a little bit too well done. I can't. It's not that delicious to me. Welcome, my friends. Love having you guys here in the community. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here. I want to make myself a useful asset to the people that were like me, wanting to live in Colombia, had a bunch of questions, but I didn't have somebody to guide me, to show me, to give me recommendations. And that's the need that I'm looking to fill, guys. You know, I like cocoa beans. Sorry, I like cacao beans. Yeah, absolutely. Cacao's delicious. Even it's one of the things I love the most to mix with honey. So super awesome, delicious drink. Get you some raw milk, get you some raw cacao, and get you some honey. You mix those three together. Honey and milk before bed will put you to sleep. Like, you're gonna sleep better. Trust me. You can ask ChatGPT about it too. It'll tell you honey and milk together has some kind of elements in it that put you to bed, help you sleep. Since you earn dollars only, is the current low rate of exchange affecting you drastically? I would say 20% is pretty drastic. Yeah. Compared to what it was last year, Familia Sanchez, when it was around 4,400, 4,200, even 4,000, like, it was cool. But my solution is to just earn 20% more, like, fill in the gap. um, I love talking about finance too, guys. That's one of the topics I really enjoy talking about. I'm super passionate about Bitcoin, about assets that outperform inflation. Um, what's one thing you wish there was in Colombia but can't find easily? Great question. Because Colombia has, off the top of my head, Colombia has everything I need. But if I think further into it, there's things that I have to create to fill the need completely. Like I got a buddy that lives in Insor, and we're talking about creating our own beer. Now he's really passionate about German style pure beers, but where I'm from and the experiences that I've had tasting like chocolate beer, like he's not a fan of it, but if it's done right, I think chocolate beer is kind of delicious. Or like a stout or like a Dunkelweizen if you've ever been to Germany or if you've ever tried German beer. Dunkelweizen is super, oh man, it's good. Absolutely. I'm afraid the exchange is not going to get better anytime soon. The US wants to increase exports, so a weak dollar helps with that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Trevor. It makes me think about interest rates. Thank God they didn't lower the interest rates recently. That would have been really bad. Right now, we're looking at $1 equals 3,600 Colombian pesos, 36.74. Now that's the lowest it's been in a while. I was here one time when it reached 5,000. I was so shocked. Interest rates were super high. So, what's one investment that you guys would say is going to do well in the stock market? And what's one stock ticker you think is going to be doing really well over the next 10 years? TSM, I agree. What's up, tough guy? Good to have you here, brother. Yeah, those semiconductors, absolutely. With AI exploding, we're going to be seeing a lot of NVIDIA, AMD, TSM. What else? Anything that supports those microchips, right? So the natural resources used to make the chips, these semiconductors, QQI, SPYI, JEPI, JEPQ. I've got those. I like QQI and SPYI a lot. I think it's pretty good. BTCI, I love a lot right now because look at the price of Bitcoin. It's nice, nicely priced. So my brother's buying a BTCI all the time because once Bitcoin comes back over to all-time highs, BTCI is going to explode. Not financial advice. Do your own research. GLW, I like GLW a lot. Gold stocks. I agree with you, Trevor. Have you met any local traders or found a Colombian community of traders? Great question. Yes, I did. I was so shocked. My boy, the only person in my town that trades, he trades using a platform called Interactive Brokers. Now, if you're in Colombia and you're Colombian, that's the one I recommend for you to get. You need $500 to trade options, like 2 million pesos to open up an options account. I haven't traded Bloom Energy. I like Bloom Energy. I have a good friend of mine who buys lots of Bloom Energy. Need some crypto also. Glad you're talking about crypto. In fact, for me personally, my opinion, don't roast me or don't. Every other thing, anything except for Bitcoin is a shit coin to me. I lost money in Cardano. I lost money in Algorand. Like, but that's not the reason why I think they're shit coins. I think it's because that's the first and it's the only thing truly decentralized and you can transact without a bank. I think that's a super powerful thing. And when you take your Bitcoin off the exchanges and you hold it, your private keys, I personally use a private key. I use Sparrow Wallet with Cold Card, which is a Canadian company. I had a buddy of mine bring it to me when he came on a trip. Just gave it to me. I listened to Peter Schiff in regards to his take on gold and the US dollar. Thank you, brother. What banks can you go in and do a teller withdrawal with your ATM card? Have you experienced that? Wayne Irving. Thanks for your question, brother. Um, Teller withdrawal with your ATM card. I don't know if that's possible, bro. I think mostly you have to go to ATMs if you don't have a Colombian bank or a Colombian ID card. Um, but let me ask. Currently looking into and researching Meli Mercado Libre. I made good loot this month in trading Nvidia, TSM, silver, and gold. Do you know a trusty family in Colombia who mines gold or someone in the business that I can buy directly from? Great question, bro. I don't know. Well, actually, I do know a friend who works for a mining company. He makes good money doing it, but I don't know exactly like how that works. I know that there's little shops that buy and sell gold here, but outside of that, bro, I couldn't. I could talk with some. I could do some networking and ask and see what I can find out, bro. That'd be cool. Next time I go to the gold shop, or let me check my town. Okay, so to answer your question, Wayne, these are called. This is called a cash advance or retiro por ventanilla con tarjeta. Banks where it may work case by case. You might try these. Even at these banks, one branch may say yes, another branch may say no, another teller may simply not know how. There is no universal policy. That's a ChatGPT response, bro. So take it with a grain of salt. Although, in my experience, ChatGPT has been pretty damn good now that we're at point 5.2. What they usually require if they agree, if the teller does attempt it, they expect the original passport, the physical card, the PIN, a signature, and manual processing. And they may stop midway and say, no se puede. Credit cards are more likely to work, Wayne, and process as a cash advance. High fees and interest start immediately. The downsides, fees are may bank charge a teller fee, and your card issuer may charge a cash advance fee or immediate interest. So my recommendation would be for you then is to um, BBVA. That was the bank that I mentioned earlier. Whenever I was without a Colombian cedula, I always went here to BBVA, and that's where I was able to pull out 300,000 pesos at a time. And granted, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. At 300,000 pesos at a time, and I would do it until my bank wouldn't let me anymore. Because I needed cash to make some big purchases, and I was waiting on my cedula. I was in the visa process, so that was my only choice. And that's the best exchange rate that I found during that time. Now it could have changed, bro. So make sure you do your research and find out what's with 2026 because I don't know. Just being honest. Don't go to Muzo in search of emeralds. Okay, that's good advice. Thanks, bro. My plan is to eventually make or buy 24 karat jewelry so I can travel with it. Okay. Love gold. What's up, guys? So good to have you guys here. It's 10 o'clock, man, but there's still some of you guys here. I want to respect y'all's time. I want to take 5 more minutes to answer any final questions, guys, before I call it a night. Tomorrow it's going to be super busy. As I mentioned, I'm going to the United States, so I'm going to be preparing and tying up some loose ends here in Colombia before I go. And if you're in Northern California or Northern Nevada, send me a message. Maybe we can have a beer or something, have a chat in person. Love meeting people. Love networking. All of you here. Do you have a Roth IRA? Yes, I do have a Roth IRA, and I also have cash. Lately, I've been dumping more of my investments into my cash and just taking it out and using it right away. My options account got cooked. So ain't much money in my options account. But all that's going to be rolled over into losses for quite some time. Shit. I know, bro. Options. I'm actually in a group called the Wealth Squad, and I still pay monthly fee to be a part of the group. And there's a lot of good knowledge in there, a lot of expert traders. But there's this one group called Teach Trade, and I have a lot of respect for the guy because uh, his name is Key Achille, and he actually programs or has somebody program his own indicator that'll even tell you like when to enter a trade, when to get out of a trade. Um, it'll show you when to take profit, and like when it works great. But when it doesn't, you can get cooked pretty bad. But it has a lot to do with the time frames, the volume, liquidity. Like his indicator is pretty interesting, bro. Check him out on Instagram. It's worth it. Worth checking out. His name is Key Achille. I think he's also on Twitter. Thank you so much, Easy Breezy. I will, guys. Love making content for you guys. Yeah, I agree. So basically, I've been just buying. I'll share with you guys some of my positions. Even if my positions got cooked, I'm going to share with you guys. So MSTY, of course, is linked to Bitcoin. I'm getting cooked on that one. I buy a O. I got like IYRI. I got Energy Transfer. I got Bitcoin BTCI, SPYI, High, Maxi, QLDY, just as a little super micro position. Pays dividends twice a week. I just wanted to see how that went. AMLP I like a lot. JEPQ, SVOL, YMAG going decent. I had Alti for a little bit, but I bounced before that thing just crashed, bro. Alti, that was an ass investment. Y Bitcoin decent. IDV, WPay, QQQI, CTA, CHPY. That's been doing good. Semiconductor. That's my entire positions, guys. That's how I'm diversified. And I'm trying to put 5% in all of those positions. So, Hood, I believe in long term of Hood, Robinhood, Bitcoin. I like the YMAG, the Magnificent Seven. Yeah, a lot of positions. Right now, I'm just taking out the dividends and using it for cost of living. I sold all my shares, but only held on to 10 SLV, which I am down on. Be careful on the dividends because the tax can be high. Alti has NAV erosion, which sucks. Yeah, I got rid of Alti, bro. I was getting cooked on Alti. I think ultimately, bro, I got out at $70 profit before it really got cooked. MSTY, I'm down too far on that one. I just hold on to it and wait for Bitcoin to turn around. I like MSTR a lot. I think MSTR is a really good buy at these levels because I believe Bitcoin eventually will go to $1 million a coin. Personally, and it seems like there's a lot of common interest amongst the group here. A lot of investors, a lot of people interested in trading. Interesting how it all came kind of full circle. The algorithm brought us all together. Let me withdrawals. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Wayne Irving. That absolutely helps adding to the conversation. So if you're trying to buy some land, bro, you can. So I recommend for you, bro, is use wise.com. Okay, because if you're trying to buy land, wise.com has the best exchange rate that I've found. And you can just add a recipient, tell your recipient, who's most likely Colombian, say, hey, I need you to go to your app in Bank Colombia or whatever and enable international transfers, international receiving international transfer. They should be able to do it in 5 minutes. And if they can't, have them call their bank. That way they can add their information, tell them open an account on wise.com, or you can ask them for specific information like their bank account, their full name, their cedula, their email, that data, and then you can just send money directly to them. And that's what I recommend if you're buying land in Colombia. Send me an email, Wayne, if you have any more. If you want me to go further into that, brother, I would be happy to help you. ChrisWolfColumbia@gmail.com. I invite you all to send me emails if you need anything answered or clarified. Also, we can connect at chriswolf.tv on Instagram or on Facebook. Would you send me a message? Yeah, there's a lot of option writing ETFs. I think my most stable positions are going to be SPYI, QQI, QQQI. Um, what else? Energy transfer and O. I like those a lot for as far as stability goes. And AMLP. That's a good energy ETF. Like that a lot. What else? Yeah, and Bitcoin CI, BTCI, because of the price of Bitcoin, I really think that at these levels, it's a really good buy if you believe in long term of Bitcoin. JFQ and my Roth, pretty happy with it. I made 7,200 this month just in trading. Nice, bro. So combining income over 11,000 for the month, and Colombia is over 40. Damn, salute, bro, killing it. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Love to see it. All right, guys. I have so much fun every time sitting here chatting with you guys. Seems to me like we should, you know what? I want to start a Discord group right now. And if y'all hang in with me, I'm going to send you guys the link. Because I would love to chat more about finance, and I'm going to create all kinds of different channels, real estate, and so we can build on this community. So I just created a server on Discord called Chris Wolf Colombia for now. And if you guys want to join the Discord community, I'm going to start promoting it on posts and things like that. And if you're interested in being a moderator, let me know. Send me an email. I would love to make some of you guys a moderator to help manage the community. Yeah, guys. Appreciate you guys tapping in with me tonight. Hope you found value or entertainment, or I hope you found it worth your time. I certainly did. Have so much fun meeting you guys, and I look forward to doing another live stream. It'll be from the United States. I'll confirm the time sometime during the week, but my intention is to do one live stream every week at the same time. Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless you all, and I look forward to chatting with you guys again. And feel free to join the Discord if y'all want to. Appreciate that, Trevor. God bless you, bro. Peace.